At the age of 5, the Beastman accidentally discovered that he was different from the others in his tribe. He had human-like thinking abilities while others were fighting and brawling. He was seriously reading books and even understood language and culture. One day, the chieftain finally decided to beat some sense into him to get him back on track, but he casually sent the chieftain flying, and after that no one dared to mess with him. Then to improve his tribe's living conditions, he started teaching human knowledge to the Beastmen. Before he knew it, he was worshipped like a god by his people, and they all kept their distance from him. They stopped letting him join their brawls, and that was when loneliness began to creep in. Until one day, when he returned from outside, his entire tribe had been buried by a mudslide, but he felt absolutely nothing, which only made him feel even more isolated. But soon, he met a man who would change his life forever. The man had come to hunt Beastmen, but when he saw this one could talk and even read, he lost all desire to fight. Instead, he became curious about his story. After hearing about his past, he learned his dream was to find a rival to brawl with. So the man invited him to chase their dreams together. He suggested forming the strongest team, and maybe along the way, he could find the partner he was looking for. The man had once fought alongside a legendary warrior and was one of the famed 5, and the author of the book the Beastman read as a child was him. His dream was to defeat the strongest monster Kaiser Dragon. So the two hit it off immediately, and together they founded the Fist of Orichalcum. Just as the man predicted, before long, other warriors of equal strength were drawn to them. Even though everyone had their own impressive traits, he still longed for someone to brawl with like Beastmen did. Since that was not happening, he decided to create one himself. So he designed an intense training regimen, but the process was too brutal. Even the small one thought no one in the world could complete it. Just as he was about to give up on his dream, the Beastman appeared. Not only did he survive the brutal training, but he also, like him, became an S-rank warrior through sheer physical prowess. After hearing all this from his master Kenki, he could not help but recall the past 2 years. Kenki had been with him almost every step of his training, and poured countless hours into his development. That gave him the courage to give his master a thumbs up with all 4 fingers. Kenki was completely caught off guard by that. Then the two went at it with no holds barred, landing blow after blow on each other. The flying debris from their fight kept smashing into the barrier. Seeing the barrier was about to collapse, the blonde master stepped in. He first borrowed some magic from the small girl master, then cast a divine spell, and teleported all the spectators out of the arena. The barrier shattered at that very moment. Every single strike they threw was as powerful as a 5th tier spell. Even though the Beastman was now S-rank, in a straight-up brawl, he was still slightly outmatched by Kenki. After getting knocked down several times, he struggled back to his feet, but he still could not keep up with Kenki, and was sent flying again shortly after. That was when the onlookers realized, if not for the mysterious force that moved them, some of them would have definitely been killed. Even though he knew from the start he could not beat Kenki, seeing that his master was still not satisfied, he decided to keep going even if it meant his last breath. He refused to give up easily. Turns out there was something everyone had been hiding from Kenki. They had been secretly training the Beastman to unlock the conditions for his innate skill. When facing an opponent far stronger than himself, as long as he had the resolve to push beyond his limits, he could activate it. And this skill did not consume stamina or magic power. It relied purely on willpower. Sure enough, his entire aura shifted dramatically. Kenki did not understand what was happening, but he immediately countered. Even though the Beastman had grown much stronger, Kenki still held his ground, and was actually thrilled by the fight. In that moment he finally realized that driven by loneliness, he had always wanted an evenly matched opponent, but overlooked the comrades who cared about him. He was no longer alone anymore. Both of them reached their limits at almost the same time, and now came the final decisive blow. When the dust cleared, Kenki still came out on top.